Welcome to T.U.G.S special report. We literally couldn't, I can't see through these things at all. We literally couldn't wait any longer to speak to you about what many are considering the Fire Festival for video game fans. Mostly because if we waited till Friday, the news would be too old. So here we are, and today we're dragging the already beaten body of Pokemon Go Fest out for another flogging. So what the hell happened last weekend in Chicago?
So, unbeknownst to us, more people than just our good friend Maddox actually still play Pokemon Go. According to him, they made some updates and reworked some of the fighting mechanics to make it more engaging. The company who created the game, Niantic, they probably thought, hey, while we still have some sort of player base left, we should probably get them all together for a nice weekend of Pokemon hunting. Now sure, it would be one last hurrah for the game that got everyone off the couch and down to their local liquor store, decaying monument, strip club, or Holocaust museum. Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's get them all together.
All the best Pokestops.
Yeah.
Guys, can you please respect my liquor store and my Holocaust museum and get out and stop chasing your pocket animals? Now, surprisingly enough, upwards of 20,000 fans were not only still playing the game, but also enjoyed it enough to fork over some real money, charge up their portable battery packs, put on their Ash Ketchum hats, and venture out to Grant Park in Chicago in search of some legendary Pokemons and various other activities that were promised by event organizers. So, obviously, the first thing the organizers for the event, including the company who developed the game, would know and look forward to working on would be that they should collaborate with the city and major telecoms to ensure that there wouldn't be any connectivity issues for their paying attendees because, well, you know, the whole thing is based around an app that consumes data the entire time that it's on. Obviously, that would be the first thing to focus on when planning this big celebration, wouldn't it?
Wrong.
Wrong.
As soon as the masses congregated at the festival location, which happens to be the location for the opening credits of Married with Children.
Yeah, it's a classic.
The cell service immediately just suffered and kickstarted the downfall of the entire festival. It was bad from the start.
At least they weren't stranded on an island, though.
Next year.
Yeah.
Literally the entire fucking point of going to this festival was ruined within the first few hours of its very existence when the constant pinging of data service caused an absolute clusterfuck for everyone involved. Apparently, there were spots at the front of the festival where you were supposed to scan special codes that would let the app know that you were a paying customer attending the festival, and that would allow you to tally up your captures during the fest so you could unlock specific, exclusive, legendary monsters.
Now, that sounds like gibberish to us, but to people there, this was not just it was the vital part of the experience and something that they'd planned on completing for weeks, only to find out that the very company who had created the game that they loved so much had completely fucked them because they didn't have the basic foresight to anticipate less than perfect cell connections.
They were not the very best.
Had none of them ever been to a festival or even a sporting event before?
Don't think so.
It's terrible. The cell service has always been bad usually, but fortunately, most big events these days, they do bring in temporary cell towers or create their own sponsored Wi-Fi networks.
Yeah, so it's not hard. This problem has been solved.
It's been solved, yeah.
A few personal examples. The Staples Center here in Los Angeles holds the same amount of people that attended the Pokemon Fest, and reception might even be harder because everyone's in such a small indoor space, not spread out across a giant park. But the Staples Center, they partnered with Verizon to give Wi-Fi access. If you just watch a short ad, you get pretty decent internet. Coachella this year had Wi-Fi available all around the festival thanks to a Netflix show sponsorship. But even that aside, most big events and festivals, they just hit up the telecoms for temporary cell towers, and they're happy to oblige. A perfect example for this is Lollapalooza, which takes place at the exact same location as Pokemon Go Fest, but it draws around 300,000 people across the whole weekend, instead of Pogo's measly 20K.
Yeah.
Even as far back as 2 years ago, the production behind Lollapalooza brought in something called the Cell on Wheels from AT&T, which provided an extra capacity of around 6.5 terabytes worth of service to the area.
Yeah.
The Chicago Tribune notes that this is the equivalent of handling 19 million social posts with pictures.
A lot more than just spinning things around and flicking your balls.
But that was in addition to Verizon installing 12 transmitters around the park for that increased load. Yep. Lollapalooza. Turns out when you've been doing a festival for 30 years, you figure these things out.
Maybe it's kind of like when someone releases a first generation phone or any tech product. It's like the festival. It's like, oh, if it's their first fest, maybe we just not go to the first one.
Yeah, don't be an early adopter for events.
DashCon, Fire Festival, and Pokemon Go Fest. We've learned our lessons.
What I'm blown away by is this has to be an area of consulting that exists.
Oh yeah.
You have to be able to...
There has to be checks and balances when you book a place like Grant Park in Chicago where at least someone from the city says, hey, by the way, maybe you should...
Have you spoken to a consultant with experience in event planning?
Yeah, so, I mean, yes, the stuff that Lollapalooza brings in, though, it's a little overboard for something as small as Pokemon Go Fest, but to just assume that the cell service would work, it's bad planning. It's like the people setting up the fest just said, you know what, the population of Chicago, it's over 2 million people.
That's a lot.
Adding a measly 20,000 users in one area of Chicago to the cell networks, a piece of cake.
Also, I don't know how cell networks work.
Yeah, of course, this kind of thinking, it doesn't make any sense, because if you even do the basic research of how cell reception actually works, that's not really how,
No,
yeah.
they have these things called towers.
Yes.
And they get clogged up. See, the internet is a series of tubes.
Anyways, regardless, this massive fuck-up did provide everyone with some real cringe-tastic clips from the stage and production, because instead of just canceling everything and refunding everyone's money with some added bonuses, which they ended up doing, by the way.
Eventually.
Organizers, they went ahead and decided that the best thing to do would be to go ahead with the live show and put the hosts, talent, and corporate team on public display for the angry fans to ridicule while people at home just watched and laughed
and clapped.
Yeah.
Guys, this whole thing's going down in flames. Let's pretend nothing's wrong.
Let's parade all these people out on stage to be the lightning rods for people's anger.
And you do have to appreciate the irony that the organizers provided themselves with enough internet to live stream this event, which was filled with people who were angry as hell about not having a strong enough signal to fucking hunt digital monsters or dinosaurs or whatever they are. I don't play it. Anyway, here are some great moments in cringe history thanks to Pokemon Go Fest.
Please help me welcome to the stage the CEO of Niantic, Mr. John Hankey.
Thanks, Rachel.
Challenge window trainers, so make sure you catch those last Pokemon so they count.
There have been maybe 10 unknown spawns. I was there for about 4, and they don't like me. I'm in a Savage Season one. It's gonna happen, but just not yet.
Explain to me and maybe to the people around here that don't know what a Savage Season is.
So a Savage Season basically means you're gonna throw a Nana Berry at the Pokemon, and then you're gonna toss a Pokeball, and it's the first throw. And if you hit it there, you're pretty much a Savage, therefore you Savage Seasoned that Pokemon. How did I come up with that? I actually don't remember, but it stuck, so Savage Season, yeah.
All right.
I actually just caught my first unknown.
Did you guys see that here on stage?
And I might have Savage Seasoned it as well. Like mobs almost 1/4 this size, running for rare Pokemon.
Oh wow, this looks like an awesome video here. We got a
intense.
Blissey and a Alakazam coming up.
There's 3 issues that we are tackling right now. One is a network issue. One of the providers is trying to pump in some more bandwidth. So that's something that we're working with them closely on. The other 2 issues are on the Niantic side. There's a crash bug issue that we've identified. I know some of you have had that issue, as well as an authentication issue. So we've got it completely pinpointed to those 3 things.
Overall with GoFest, how are you feeling today?
Honestly, it was a great success.
Yeah?
I've had some...
Fun having everyone here making the vlogs. It's gonna be a cool video weekend for YouTube, especially with Pokemon Go.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see all the video content that comes out of this.
So there you have it. I mean, at least they had the balls to go out on stage and be like, sorry, but also, everyone having a good time? No, we're not.
No!
Now,
Like, how many Pokemon have you caught today? Oh, none. I can't.
you fucking kidding me?
We're gonna fix that.
No. Now, there are some links below to full stories about the whole fiasco, as well as some glorious links to full clip compilations. You know what? It's another thing where it's like, you just stay at home and you're having more fun than everyone.
Yeah.
You're not out in the heat. It's positive.
Yeah, it's like, God. Yeah, Chicago is miserable in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
During this.
Very humid.
Yeah, humid, hot.
It would have been great if Pokemon Go Fest turned into like Woodstock 96 or 98 or whatever it was. Where it was
99.
Woodstock 99, where it just got like, it was just mud everywhere. So they were just throwing mud everywhere, lighting
Yeah.
stuff on fire.
These poor Pokemon fans.
You know what the crazy thing is that Ja Rule was behind Pokemon Go Fest too.
Ja Rule is the.
It's not true.
He's the wizard behind the curtain for
Yeah.
everything that goes wrong.
He's just pulling levers,
Yeah.
having a blast. Anyways, thank you for taking part in this T.U.G.S special report. We'll be back later in the week to talk about really important gaming stuff, like the fact that PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds updated. They're updating so you can buy clothes in it now instead of actually finishing the game.
I can't see anything either.
Yeah. All right, bye.